So it is Sunday the 4th of June 2017. I'm in front of the Unitarian Church of Montreal, engaged in my alternative spiritual practice of protesting against Unitarian Universalist injustices, abuses, and hypocrisy. And it's been quite a good little protest. Had some very interesting interactions with members of the public and also with David Rollard, the husband of Reverend Diane Rollard, who decided he felt the need to erase my chalk slogans that protest against the Unitarian Universalist Association misusing Canada's blasphemy law and legal bullying intended to conceal such despicable crimes as pedophilia and rape committed by certain Unitarian Universalist ministers, from the public. And this brings us to the mission statement of the Unitarian Church of Montreal. I actually had meant to say something earlier because one of the people I was speaking with, actually noted the contrast, between, or the relationship between this mission statement and my protest. She pointed out that I was challenging the Unitarians, and indeed I am. But what I pointed out to her, and which I don't believe was recorded on video, was, maybe it was, but anyway, we're going to go into more detail about this. This mission statement, which is in fact the mission statement of the Unitarian Church of Montreal, is totally devoid of any moral or ethical content. It does not say what the Unitarian Church of Montreal welcomes. It does not say what the Unitarian Church of Montreal nurtures. It does not say what the Unitarian Church of Montreal inspires. It does not say what the Unitarian Church of Montreal challenges. And it certainly does not say what actions Montreal Unitarians take together in the world. All of those things could be immoral and unethical, and borderline criminal, and or actually criminal, and or, quite frankly, batshit crazy. What exactly do Montreal Unitarians welcome? What exactly do Montreal Unitarians inspire? What exactly do Montreal Unitarians nourish? What exactly do Montreal Unitarians challenge? And what actions in the world do Montreal Unitarians take? Well, one of the actions that Montreal Unitarians take is to physically assault me, steal my picket signs, and erase my chalk slogans. They also call in false complaints to the SPVM in efforts to shut down my protest. They have me accused of crimes or even arrested for crimes that I have not actually committed in their efforts to suppress my protest. So there's a whole bunch of actions that Montreal Unitarians, good day, take in the world that are in fact immoral, are in fact unethical, are in fact borderline criminal, are in fact actually criminal, are in fact batshit crazy. So I think maybe the Unitarian Church of Montreal needs to rethink its mission statement because it's basically meaningless bullshit. So anyhow, we shall continue to circulate here. We've done a full hour of protesting, a little over an hour actually. I don't know how much longer we're going to continue, but it's been quite a good little protest, and it's essentially my official protest, first official protest, celebrating 5 years of being accused of blasphemy in the 21st century by atheist Unitarians for telling the truth about such despicable crimes as pedophilia and rape committed by certain Unitarian Universalist ministers. So that's that for now. We'll just continue circulating here. Got the Tour de Lille going on in the background there. I did give some consideration to showing the signs to the cyclists, but I don't want to distract them. I don't want to enjoy their good day out in the sun, enjoying a very nice ride about Montreal. I certainly don't want to distract one of them enough that it would actually perhaps cause an accident, because he was looking at my picket signs instead of where he was going and ran into something. So I think it's best if I leave well enough alone. So as tempting as it is to have thousands of Montrealers be made aware of Unitarian Universalist misuse of blasphemy, law to hide rape, I think we'll find other means of doing that. So anyhow, yeah, I'm pretty happy with how today's protest has gone. We've got very good video of David Rollert just showing how self-deluded he is, and clearly showing, I mean, it's not the first time, but there's clear evidence of David Rollert being totally unconcerned with the issues that I'm protesting against, and instead doing his best to just hide the facts, hide the truth by erasing my slogans. My slogans are very, very, very truthful. They're factual statements. They're supported by evidence. There's no way that David Rollert or any other Unitarian Universalist could successfully argue that they're not truthful. And here's David Rollert erasing them. In total violation of the fourth principle of Unitarian Universalism. I've said it before, but it bears repeating now that things have dried a bit. Prior to David Rollert erasing this slogan, there was a slogan here that said something like Unitarians misuse blasphemy law to hide pedophilia and rape, or something like that. Totally truthful statement. A statement that clearly shares that rather embarrassing truth with people entering the Unitarian Church of Montreal, and of course, passers-by, the Canadian public. But David erased that slogan, so people are no longer, they have no, they can see, there's some, they can see a letter Y over there, and maybe make out a T up, but they really have no idea. They might go, pedo, did he leave pedo there? If they're sort of smart, they might, it's Edo, they might be able to, some of them, not everyone, might, oh yeah, pedophilia, I wonder what they're trying to hide here. So that's erasing the truth, or expressions of the truth, is a complete and utter violation of the fourth principle, which calls for a free and responsible search for truth and meaning. And it's also in violation of the second principle, which calls for justice, equity, and compassion in human relations, because one of the ways we get to justice is by getting to the truth. And so when you conceal the truth, you basically are obstructing justice. I think it'd be fair to say that although we're not talking about obstruction of justice in terms of actually obstructing police work per se, or actually obstructing the work of the justice system, nonetheless, in the broader sense, David Rollert is obstructing justice when he conceals the truth about Unitarian Universalist clergy abuse of children and Unitarian Universalist cover-up and denial thereof. I mean, has David ever stopped to think for a few minutes, that he's basically guilty of trying to conceal the fact that children have been sexually abused and even repeatedly raped by certain Unitarian Universalist ministers, to say nothing of certain Unitarian Universalist Sunday school teachers? Is David is he given some thought to that? The guy seems like a utterly conscienceless psychopath as far as I'm concerned, totally devoid of conscience, and certainly very, very, very self-deluded and wallowing in willful ignorance and psychological denial. But I wonder if he's really given any serious thought to what he's really doing when he erases my chalk slogans. So, got a gentleman having a close look at the picket sign here. So, anyhow, I think we will probably wrap this up soonish, but it's been quite a good little protest, and I'd like to get the video up. I think it would be good to have it available sooner rather than later, and so we may just wrap things up, but I'll hang in there a little bit longer. But yeah, getting back to, because I think I might have lost my train of thought or something. Okay, here comes the police. Now, they might just drive right by, which is what they should do, I think. But they might have a little word with me about the protest. But no, it looks like they're driving by. So, and that is as it should be as far as I'm concerned, because as far as I'm concerned, what I'm doing here is well within my constitutionally guaranteed civil rights and freedoms. So it's very unfortunate that the SPVM have in the past intervened rather too many times in a way that did not respect my charter guaranteed rights and freedoms to self-expression and freedom of opinion and peaceful public protest and so on. But yeah, I think they finally figured out that A, they need to show a bit more respect for my civil rights and freedoms, and B, they've been fed a huge line of bullshit by Montreal Unitarians for years now, and that they have in fact been told lies by Montreal Unitarians about my activities outside the Unitarian Church in Montreal. So I think they're finally getting wise to the fact that the best thing they can do is nothing. Just let me protest. I mean, yeah, of course, if there's some serious thing, they should certainly respond to it. If they do get a call from someone, saying I'm assaulting someone or something like that, well, they should respond to it. They will almost certainly discover that it's a false complaint, because as a rule, I'm a very non-violent person. I might, if I'm forced to defend myself, if I'm being assaulted, I might, if I feel it's necessary to do so, I might retaliate. But it's extremely rare for me to initiate violence. I can't think of a time in the last 2 or 3 decades where I've initiated violence against anyone that wasn't justified, and it's usually pretty minimal, like the minimal amount required to get the job done, kind of thing. So that's that. I do believe the police are doing the right thing by just letting me protest and not interfering. I should add that I think they might have a greater respect for civil rights and freedoms and freedom of expression, partly as a result of their own freedom of expression being limited within the context of their labor disputes with the city of Montreal. Montreal police have basically had their ability to express themselves limited, and in fact the province, I believe, is trying to pass a law that would prevent them from wearing pressure tactics clothing, specifically colorful pants rather than their uniform pants, and red Union baseball caps. I mean, I like the red Union baseball caps. I think we can see one there in the distance. That's a cadet in the distance. He's got a yellow vest. He's got a red Fraternité des policiers, my French, policiers et policières de Montreal. So That's the police union's red baseball cap, and a lot of Montreal police officers wear them as part of their protest against their pension fund being sort of clawed back to some extent, and various other labor dispute issues. And they may possibly be forced to, well, I can't say forced, they may be legally obliged, which doesn't mean, you know, they could disobey. I kind of love it if the province passed a law telling the police that they could no longer, you know, wear their red baseball caps in protest, and the police said, well, too bad, we're going to engage in civil disobedience and we're going to continue to wear our hats and let's see what happens. You know, that would be kind of amusing. But anyway, I would like to think that SPVM cops these days, for a variety of reasons, do have a somewhat greater respect for civil rights and freedoms in general, and those of yours truly in particular, because they've really embarrassed themselves quite a few times by intervening in this protest in a way that, you know, they basically are telling me, you know, you can't be here, you gotta go, and blah, 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 and I ask why, and they come back with bullshit pretexts for why I have to go. You know, one cop said I couldn't be standing here because this was a bus stop zone. He was basically saying you can't protest in a bus stop zone, which quite frankly is insane. And of course he was parked in it, and so a couple of buses had to let off passengers in the middle of the road, or well before the bus stop. You know, because this idiot was telling me I can't protest in a bus stop zone. So, yeah, basically a fair bit of idiocy engaged in by SPVM cops in their efforts to dissuade me from protesting outside the Unitarian Church of Montreal. But it does seem to have significantly abated. It could start again at some point.